All right, everybody, I made it. I should probably do that a little more often. That was a lot of fun. It was Mary's first show. She enjoyed it. She's going back for night two, so that's a good sign. And we got things started with Sigma Oasis. Now, I know we just got that opening up dicks, but that's a pretty solid opener there. And this one, like it Sigma does almost every time, they pretty much crushed that. Then we got the Ninth Cube. I was actually I'm not a huge sci-fi soldier or Casbah. Whatever. I don't love them or hate them necessarily, but I was happy to get one each, one Casvod and then the Ninth Cube here, the second song. Then we really got cooking with Theme from the Bottom. It felt like I was like, mostly this is my section. I was in the Phish lottery section. You don't often get great seats with that, but that was all right. It seemed like a lot of us Phish lottery people that were back there, it wasn't necessarily a bunch of raging maniacs. A little bit of that dashed in there, but finally in Theme from the Bottom, it was like, okay, I guess there are a few raging maniacs up here because Theme from the Bottom was the first to get going. First time it was like Trey really sounded good tonight on a few songs, just playing things that doing that thing where you're like, is he teasing a song? What is going on? Is he just kind of putting a new twist on this? A twist was another one he did it. I think Bathtub Gin, not quite a solo, but not the like how the tone sounded nice. Now the audio tonight there in the Nut House, the Nutter Center. No, first of all, no cup holders. That sucks. Come on, man. I mean, you got to get some cup holders, Nutter Center. Get it together. And then yeah, sometimes it sounded great. Sometimes the vocals were like nearly just perfect sounding, and then other times not. Sometimes it was like really loud, like I just wanted to cover my ears loud, and a little bit distorted, and kind of just everything kind of jammed together. It's kind of hard to hear Page a little bit, and then other times it was magnificent. I was a little, I'm not sure what was up with that. I thought I was going to have a great shot at the lights where we were. I mean, almost straight on, maybe a little too high up there for the lights. I mean, not a big place at all, and there were several times where I was like, okay, here we go. This is what we're talking about. I think during the Mike song, obviously peak lights there, other good stuff with the lights. Maybe toward the end there, Twist and Slave to the Traffic Light, and that Slave to the Traffic Light, man. I always love that song, but God, that one just hit hard. That was another one where Trey just giving us a little extra tonight. The vocals fairly, much better tonight on Trey, so hopefully we're back on track there. Everything's feeling good. I'm just kind of going looking over this back for the fall. Yeah, the Cool Amber and Mercury, those Casvot songs, man, they always deliver a nice first set type one jam, don't they? Bathtub Gin just went off the charts, of course. They started out the jam in that. I thought maybe they were going to go to a different direction, but no, it finally built to this big explosion. Then broke it into pieces. I even felt a little bit, I was like, that's a little bit rude, all of you guys. I have never seen so many people leave to go to the bathroom or get a drink or whatever at the same time. I mean, it was just like it was like hundreds of people. It must have been maybe 1,000. There might have been 1,000 people got up and left during that song. And then I had a little pro move. I waited right. I told Marriott too. I was like, "Hey man, right at the end of this song, I gotta go to the back. I gotta go get a drink." And right at the end of the Reba jam. Didn't really care if there's going to be whistling or not. I pretty much shoved her out of the way, ran to the bathroom, got back, or got a beer, got back before the first lyric to Chalk Dust Torture. That was a pro run. All these people leaving at once during Broken into Pieces. That's not a very long song. That's the best part about that. It wasn't a very long song. Kind of needed to cool down, actually, a little bit. Oh, yeah, I forgot about 555. One of my personal favorites. Big night for Mike Gordon. I actually needed to sit and chill for a minute during that Broken into Pieces. So that was a bad move. People that rolled out during that, because then since they all went at once, it was just chaos out there. They end up missing most of Reba. So bad call there on your Broken into Pieces. You don't always go to the bathroom during the bathroom song. Pick a spot like boom, right at the end of the Reba jam. That was perfect. I mean, I was in and out. There's no line, not a single, and I was way up top and the beer was right there. So, I was like, I could have probably turned around and been like, hey, can I get a beer? It was that close. So, and so that was nice and convenient. Not a single person in line. And then the Chalk Dust, I think in 2017 they ended the first set with Chalk Dust here at the Nutter Center. And it was Chomp Dust, but look, it raged. It was complete. They were on fire during that. And it was a bit of a smoke show. The whole place was smoky all night. I mean, right when we got there, it was already smoky. think perhaps they sound checked. I don't know, Maze. So then we got the Big Mike song, multiple jams in Mike's song too. Didn't want to give up. Lights going off on that, and then the Prince Caspian. I did not realize this, but one of Mary's favorite songs, so that was good. She also enjoyed Theme from the Bottom, and what was else? I know she liked the Raging Chalk Dust, Reba. I don't think she really knew a couple of the other songs. Oh, yeah, Theme from the Bottom. Oh, she knew that I was a big 555 guy. So she put a big smile on her face for that one. So then the Prince Caspian into No Men in No Man's Land. Again, I felt like I pulled a good move here. That damn beer. Sorry, man. The one closest to me didn't have Pepsi. I was like, this is not starting out good, man. I'm coming up here to get my Pepsi, and is all you got's beer? All right, I'll take one. And then I actually went up for a second one later. So during No Men in No Man's Land, it actually hit me during the Prince Caspian. I was like, I gotta piss. Probably during the Mike song. Well, anyways, at the very beginning of No Men, I was like, all right, same move. A lot of people are probably going to be following me out of here, so I had to hustle. A little bit of a line in the men's room. Some guys beat me to it. But I was back in time for, the heart of the No Men in No Man's Land jam. And then that nice, just out of nowhere, right back into Prince Caspian. That was absolutely amazing. Still not doing the Pepsi. Need a little extra caffeine boost. My feet hurt. My feet is hurting. Feet don't fail me now. I haven't stood and danced that much in a long time. At least since last summer. It was brief, the trip back into Prince Caspian, but it was awesome. And then it's ice, I think I even heard people rumbling, 1997, 1997, 1997. Well, it wasn't that, and then they tried to get a glow stick. I say by they, just some fans. Looked like they tried to get some glow sticks going on during its ice. It just wasn't happening, man. Several, little small area around sections 210 and 211, I believe. They were throwing their handfuls, doing their part, trying to get the party started, but they would just land. Somebody might grab one, stick it in their hair, possibly throw it. Maybe they almost kind of got going a little bit toward the end of its ice, but it was odd that late in the second set, a little bit weird, whatever. You can play songs wherever they want, but a little weird that it's ice being in the second set like that. And then Pillow Jets, man. I was totally fine with Broken Into Pieces, The Ninth Cube. I don't want to just hate on all of these new songs, and it is cool, the part, obviously the Air Force Museum, all this, we got Pillow Jets. All right, yeah, thanks, Trey, I get it. And the part where they it actually sounds like a jet, taking off, not pleasant to the ears. That was one of the parts where I was like, woohoo, this is a little, I get it. I see what you're going for there. It's creative. I like that part about it, the creativity there, but I didn't like the sound, and ultimately this is music. And I don't like the sound of a jet taking off, so that would not. And I had even thought, okay, well, this one will get better. This jam's going to crush. Nah, it didn't even really, man. It's just a noisy mess, really. That was really the only low point of the night, man. Everything else I was really into it. Weekapaug groove, then just a monster twist and Slave to the Traffic Light, which I think I already mentioned to close out the set. And then let's get to the encore. It's Joy. All right, let's look up a local hometown show here. I got no excuse to bail on the encore. But with Joy, I was like, uh-oh. Are we going to get Joy more? Then we got Buffalo Bill. I'll have to look. I believe my 6th Buffalo Bill and now my 35th show, which is kind of crazy stat. We all got that one crazy stat. That's my crazy stat. Buffalo Bill, a song that hasn't had a ton of plays. I haven't gone to a ton of shows. It's always there. Example, guy next to me said it was his 83rd show. He had to crowbar that in at some point. At some point, this guy was going to tell me how many shows he had been to. His first Buffalo Bill. Then they follow that up with a Wilson. I love Wilson. Who doesn't? Then Trey said he wasn't real sure what to do. And he couldn't think. He's thinking, I'm trying to think, but nothing happens. And then they got into First Tube, and I was like, all right, let's bounce. And then this chomper there at the end of the row is recording. I'm looking at him, and he's smiling. I was like, you're going to record the whole fucking song, man? And I just kind of messed up his whole deal, and we bounced on First Tube. All right, man, I think that pretty much does it. We're almost 10 minutes in. I did meet a lot of people. Met Clay again. Boom. Nice seeing you, Brandon / Iculus. Guy that made the Chomper compilation. Tim and Bruce were right there in my section. Also a Canadian guy. I don't know what is it, these Canadians, man. Every time I go to a show in Canada, I end up next to a Canadian as one of my show partners, neighbors. And the Loving Cup thing, that one guy, that Canadian told me he was chasing Loving Cup. Check this out. Look what this Canadian brought and was handing out to people. Very nice of him. I don't know what is going on with Canadians and the Rolling Stones and Phish. And also this. I wanted to show this. He handed this to Mary. Now look, buddy. A little disrespectful you hitting on my girl like that, but all right, I'm not insecure. I can handle it. I'll even show your little card you gave to her. I didn't get a card. Mary got a card. I didn't get a card. Any art that includes a Sharpie, I'm into. Pretty good fun. I like my man's, I like it there. I like his G's. Wolfie, I guess. So if you guys know him, he gets down. Claims he had been to about every show since 2012. The other guy next to me, he was out. He didn't make it the whole show. He was tore up. Mid-second set, he about fell asleep and then ate some Reese's Pieces and bounced. All right, guys, I think that about did it. This is really long. I'm sorry. Hopefully you hung in there. Boom. I ran into some other people. I think I didn't get a lot of names. Ran into several people pre-show, though, there in the lot. Tried to make my way over to Shakedown at one point, but I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'm not cut out for all this sometimes. I was like, I got to get back to the car. Where's Mary? Boom. Let's get inside. Overall, it's pretty great. Probably just because I was there. I don't know. I don't know what everybody else is going to think. But certainly, we had at least 3 monsters. Boom. We're out of here.